Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Transportation, Distribution, and Logistics Virtual Job Fair. Today, we will be hearing from 6 employers hiring for positions in the TDL sector. Our first hour will be structured as a general informational session in which employers will speak for 5 minutes to give you some information about their company and will highlight the job openings they currently have. If you have questions at any time, please type them into the chat and we will address them during the Q&A session that will be taking place after all employers have presented. Hour 2 will provide interested job seekers with an opportunity to meet with participating employers and will be comprised of 3 10-minute small group interviews. If you are interested in speaking with an employer during this time, please provide no more than 3 employers with whom you are interested in meeting by sending a private message in the chat with your selections to Valencia Muhammad or Stacy Delaney Roney with the YWCA. Today's session is being recorded and will be made available in the employer booths for you to refer to later. Now, I am pleased to introduce Pat with the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership. Pat.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and warmest of greetings to all. My name is Patricia Moore, and I am a business relations specialist representing the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership. The partnership is a public workforce system supporting job seekers and employers throughout the Chicagoland area and suburban Cook County. We are pleased to be co-hosting this event with our Transportation, Distribution, and Logistics Sector Center managed by the YWCA. Additionally, we have 10 comprehensive American job centers, 4 industry-specific sector centers, and more than 60 other delegate agencies and community-based organizations that are ready to assist you with a wide range of employment and training services virtually. Please visit our website at chicagocookworks.org. I'll put that in the chat for you, and review our Work Now page where you'll find some other employment opportunities. We thank you so much for being here this morning. We wish you a very informative and productive visit with our participating partner employers. I'd like to introduce Robert Lewis. He is the manager of the YWCA TDL Sector Center. Robert?
Thank you so much, Pat, for your gracious introduction. Hello, world. My name is Robert Lewis, as you just heard from Pat Moore. Please allow me to be the first to introduce you to the new YWCA Metropolitan Chicago Transportation, Distribution, and Logistics Sector Center. We are very fortunate and thrilled for this opportunity to invite you in, our audience, to the YWCA TDL Sector Center's first virtual hiring event today. Welcome all. Next slide, please. Now, let's get to know your TDL Sector Center team. So that first handsome gentleman is myself, Robert Lewis, the Business Development Manager, our esteemed training coordinator, Stacy Delaney Roney, and to round out our fabulous team, Valencia Muhammad, our Business Development Coordinator. Next slide, please. So the Transportation, Distribution, and Logistics Center is a preeminent bridge that connects industry employers to locally skilled talent. The TDL Sector Center serves the industry by offering a menu of training and talent acquisition services that meets both the employers and the candidates' needs. The Transportation, Distribution, and Logistics Center is a Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act Center, or WIOA. This premier center is managed by us, the YWCA Metropolitan Chicago, and powered by the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership. Next slide, please. Here at the YWCA TDL Sector Center, we don't want to just inspire your job search efforts, but we aim to aspire and expand your idea of what a TDL career can become. Please know that major changes are coming to logistics. In the near future, you will order a product and 30 minutes later, a drone will drop it off right outside your door. That's a quote from supplychaintoday.com. The future is coming, y'all. Next slide, please. Here, my friends, is why we are so excited about the future of the Chicago TDL industry. According to the World Business Chicago website, there are 14,593 TDL firms, the highest in the country. We have the top 5 third-party logistic providers here, including C.H. Robinson, XPO Logistics, UPS Supply Chain Solutions, JB Hunt, and Expeditors, which also are included in the top 24 of the top 24 of the top 25. Chicago is the nation's second largest by number employed, with over 224,000 employed as at the end of the second quarter of this year. Trade moving through O'Hare for the first half of 2020 is up 10% compared to the first half of 2019. And just a little extra nugget, you guys, Southwest Airlines will be coming to O'Hare Airport in 2021. Wow, exciting. Next slide, please. Now, we all know that when folks hear TDL jobs, they usually think truck drivers, right? Folks, that's not the case. We are here to share the great news that surrounds this industry on the ground, in the warehouse, on the water, along the railways, and flying in the air. Next slide, please. So you may say, with all that being shared with you, well, does this industry really pay anything? That'd be a good question. I got great news for you folks. There are so many untruths out there when it comes to the types of jobs that one can attain when it comes to the TDL Sector Center. And also that not one person can make a living doing so. Please look at our chart here. For example, you can become a distribution center manager and make upwards of $59,000 a year, or become a business operations manager and bring upwards of $123K a year home. Listen, the opportunities to support your family exist in the TDL industry. Next slide, please. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. We are really excited and looking forward to some great potential employee and employer opportunity interaction with all of our employer partners and you guys here today. And for all of you who are expecting great opportunities for employment, you have landed in the right place. Now, again, here is our TDL Sector Center contact information. So after the event, if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out to any of our team members listed here. Also, note once again that if you'd like to enter into any of our great employers breakout sessions for further information and to show your interest during this event, please use the private chat feature to message our team members, Mrs. Valencia Muhammad or Mrs. Stacy Delaney Roney, and let them know which employers, the top 3 employers you'd like to be connected with, and then you will receive further instruction at that point. Now, with no further ado, let's begin this great afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert, and thank you, Pat, for that wonderful introduction. I will give the folks who are on this webinar just a moment to copy down any of the contact information that you see on the screen for the 3 members of the Y team. They are wonderful individuals. It's been a pleasure working with them, and they are absolutely ultimate professionals. They will help you and help you achieve whatever it is that you seek to accomplish. So please feel free to reach out to them. First up, we have Megan with FedEx. Megan, are you available to present?
I am. Can everybody hear me?
We can. You can begin whenever you're ready, Megan.
Perfect. So good morning. Thank you all for being here today. So before I start, I just want to give a little bit about me. So again, my name is Megan and I work for FedEx Ground. I do oversee a couple of locations, which I'll go over later today. But I have been with the company with 2 years and counting. And my job is to find all of you wonderful people and let you guys join our FedEx team. So first off, I'm going to just do a quick overview of FedEx Ground. So FedEx Ground is going to be a leader in cost-effective package ground shipping, offering dependable service to business and residential customers throughout the U.S. and Canada. So more than 150 employees, more than 620 distribution hubs and local pickups and delivery stations, and 74,000 motorized vehicles operated by 5,300 locally owned small businesses. FedEx Ground transports nearly 10 million packages daily. If you wanted to go to the next slide for me. So we have 6 operating companies that fall within the FedEx network. It's Ground, Freight, Service, Logistics, Express, and Office. I currently work for Ground. The FedEx network reaches more than 220 countries and territories and over 425,000 team members around the world. And Fred Smith, who is the founder of FedEx, he built Federal Express back in 1971. So if you would like to go to the next slide for me. So there are different career paths within the company. Like it says on the front, one of the most traditional career paths may begin as a package handler and then as an operations manager. From there, you have more options for career growth in various management roles until you get to a senior manager of a building, then eventually work toward a director title. Many of our directors and senior executives started their careers out as a package handler. However, we know that a career path is no longer a straight path anymore. So we do offer lateral movement and incentives and have a variety of business areas like safety, engineering, maintenance, HR, accounting, and much more. And then we also have a tuition assistance program to help employees realize their dreams and to achieve their goals. If you would like to move to the next one, please. So what skills do you guys need to become a FedEx employee? So we pride ourselves on the Purple Promise, and we promise to make every FedEx experience outstanding. You'll hear that a lot if you start working at FedEx, because that's what we truly believe. We want to make sure everyone has an outstanding experience, whether you work for FedEx or whether you don't work for FedEx. So we are looking for people with this customer-focused ethic. People are self-motivated and goal-oriented will thrive here at FedEx. So what I mainly start recruiting for, like I said before, is going to be for the package handlers. So we offer both hiring full-time and part-time package handlers who will do the loading and unloading of packages in a fast-paced environment. So part-timers typically work anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a shift, and then full-timers will work approximately 2 of those shifts per day, varying in length. What you're responsible for is warehouse duties, including but not limited to, so let's say physical loading, unloading, you'll do some sorting, you'll various sizes and weights and hands, lifting, pushing, pulling, squatting, and then if they want you to do other functions within the company, they will offer that as well. Just note that FedEx is a very fast-paced environment, so you just have to be ready and to go every single day. And because it is our holiday season, I know I said it's anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. You will be working a lot more than that. And then the minimum qualifications to become a package handler is at least minimum of 18 years of age, and of course, willing and able to do all of the heavy lifting and job functions. If you can go to the next slide for me, please. Perfect. So benefits. So after a minimum threshold of service, employees are eligible for healthcare, dental, and vision benefits. And then we also offer tuition assistance and an employee assistance program, which offers free counseling sessions and other work-life balance services. As your first day of an employee, you're eligible for 2 weeks paid parental leave and then numerous bonuses. Like I said, right there, you can get phone discounts, grocery coupons. You can even have opportunities to buying a new car. The sky is the limit within FedEx. So let's go on to how you apply in the hiring process. So it's very simple. I can always send this out as well, but we have 2 different websites that you can go to. So the first link is the Ground Warehouse Jobs one. That one is going to be directed strictly for the Ground network. Or if you're looking to work for a different type of one of our opcos, so like Freight, Service, Logistics, and Office, you can go to the careers.fedex and it'll open the opportunity to the whole network of FedEx. So once you choose which one is the best for you, you'll click on apply for this position. You'll either register or you'll sign in if you already tried applying for FedEx before, and then you'll apply. After that, because of the environment that we're in, we do all interviews either through email or text. So it's an automated system that you will receive within 24 to 48 hours once your application is submitted. It'll just be asking you questions. You'll respond either through text or email, and it'll go through like that until the end of the interview. Once the interview is submitted and completed, each candidate will receive an email to complete a criminal background. Once that is processed, it'll go through a third-party vendor who will let us know if you're eligible to move forward with us. If you are, the station that or location that you applied for will directly contact you to begin orientation, which is paid for, which is your very first day of work. And then lastly, these are just the 3 locations that I physically work out of. However, like I said, there's so much more opportunity out there. So if none of these locations suit you, that's completely fine. I can always direct you to individuals who are working in other locations around your area.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Megan. Yep. I do want to mention before we move on to our next employer, and I will do so periodically, is that first off, if you do have any questions for Megan regarding employment at FedEx, please feel free to enter those into the chat section and we'll get those answered for you during the Q&A portion. Secondly, I did want to mention if any of you are interested in meeting with Megan following this informational session, we will be holding small group interviews. So if you are interested in doing so, please use the chat feature, and you could private message either Valencia Muhammad with the YWCA or Stacy Delaney-Roney with the YWCA, and they will get you scheduled. Next up, we have Carolina Abrams with Sherwin-Williams. Carolina, are you able to present?
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can. You can begin whenever you're ready, Carolina.
Yes, so I'm Carolina Abrams. I am the site HR manager here at Sherwin-Williams for the Chicago-based location. So just a little bit about our company. I know Sherwin-Williams, just by saying the name, most people associate us obviously with paint. But just a little bit more about our company. So this is our mission at Sherwin-Williams, to be the supplier of the highest value coatings products and services in the world. This will be accomplished by developing and acquiring the appropriate resources to continuously improve the performance of our products, services, and people. So Sherwin-Williams, we were founded in 1866 out in Cleveland, Ohio. We are headquartered out in Cleveland. We have about 60,000 employees worldwide. In 2019 alone, it was about 17.9 billion in sales. We have 4,300 company-owned retail stores and 140 manufacturing and distribution facilities. So the plant that I'm based at here in Chicago manufactures water-based paints. So most of our product here goes to the Sherwin-Williams stores. However, there are other products that go to other big box stores. So a bit more about Sherwin-Williams and our various groups and divisions. So we have the Americas groups, which is made up of our paint stores, our do-it-yourself, residential paint, commercial, property management. We also have our consumer brands groups. So on here, you'll see a couple different other brands that you probably didn't even know were associated with Sherwin-Williams. So for example, Valspar, you have Dutch Boy, so that product is sold at Menards. Minwax, these are just a couple other products that fall under the Sherwin-Williams umbrella. Then we have the Performance Coatings Group. Oh, sorry about that. The Performance Coatings Group. So when you think about paint, you typically associate it with painting your house, but when, there's more to that too. So a lot of the paint that goes on vehicles. So we have a group on automotive finishes, coils, engineered solutions, general industrial coatings, so the paint that goes on farming equipment. We also have a military aspect to our business, which is the paint that goes on various marine submarines and so forth. And then we have our industrial wood coatings division as well. So the manufacturing plant that I'm based out of is part of the global supply chain. So the manufacturing part of it. So a little bit more about the global supply chain division. We manufacture and distribute olive branded and private label products. We manage raw material procurement, the development and manufacturing of products, and the distribution of those products to stores and the customer facilities around the world. Our mission is one integrated supply chain supporting sales for all customers. Our strategy is to create value through end-to-end global supply chain execution and continuous improvement. Global supply chain manages 76 manufacturing distribution centers around the world, with the addition of Valspar that was acquired a couple years back. So here in Illinois alone, we have facilities in Chicago, South Holland, Matson, Romeoville, Wheeling, just to name a few of the Chicagoland Sherwin-Williams manufacturing locations. As far as open positions, so for our open positions, our website is careers.sherwin-williams.com. That's where you'll find all our current openings. Right now for the Chicago plant, these are the current openings. So we have a maintenance machinist. So that's part of our maintenance team. And that's the hourly rate at the moment. Our facility here in Chicago is part of a union. So we're a little bit different than our neighboring sites here in the Chicagoland area. And then we hire temps every season. So what I mean by that, so in January, our operation goes to 24/7. So we're open 27 days a week, 24 hours a day. So with that, we increase our headcount with production, with temp production operators. We then use our temp production operators as our pool of candidates for whenever full-time positions become available. So that's kind of the way you get in the door, is by starting off as a temp and then converting to full-time. And that's the current hourly rate there. And then we do have the temp quality control lab tech. We have 2 positions currently at the moment. And all these positions are slated to start towards the end of January of next year.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Carolina. Again, I do want to reiterate that if you do have any questions for Carolina regarding employment at Sherwin-Williams, please feel free to enter those questions into the chat, and we'll get those answered for you during the Q&A session that will be taking place after all of the employers have presented. I also do want to once again mention, if you'd like to meet with Carolina during the small group interview portion of this event, please private chat Valencia Muhammad or Stacy Delaney Roney with the YWCA, and they will get a time scheduled for you. Next up, we have Chicago Transit Authority with Lindsay. Lindsay, are you available to present?
I am.
Fantastic. You can begin whenever you're ready, Lindsay.
All right. Well, welcome and thank you for joining, everybody. My name is Lindsay Estupinian and I work with the Chicago Transit Authority. Excited that you're here with us today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about who we are. A lot of people know already what our mission is, and give a really brief overview of some of our job opportunities in the application. So you can go on to the next slide. So at the Chicago Transit Authority, our mission is to deliver quality, affordable transit services that link people, jobs, and communities. We are the second largest public transit agency in the nation. So we move a lot of people and help them do a lot of things in our city. I like to think of the CTA as really the lifeblood of the city, keeping people moving, helping them get to where they need to go. really our city cannot function without CTA. So it's a really important service that we offer. Next slide. At the CTA, we have over 11,000 employees. Some of our employees are represented by a union, some of them are non-union. So for example, a union employee would be a bus operator or a bus mechanic. A non-union person would be somebody like myself who works in human resources, more on the administrative side of things. We serve Chicago and 35 area suburbs, and we do that through 130 bus routes and 8 rail lines. We have locations around the city. I think this is a little known fact. We're really everywhere. We have our headquarters, which is located downtown, but then we also have 7 bus garages, 9 rail terminals, many different shops that are just located around the city. So your work location is always going to depend on the job that you're hired for and then the manpower needs. So if you're hired on as a bus operator, you might live right next to our Forest Glen Avenue garage, but if there's a higher manpower need at our Chicago Avenue garage, you'll likely be assigned to that Chicago Avenue garage instead. Excuse me. So there's just a couple different factors that go into determining that. Next. So at CTA, we have 6 areas of business, and I'll really briefly give an overview of all of them. For our operations side of the store, this is our largest department that we have. Within operations, we have both a bus and a rail side. Now, the operations team, it's the people that you see actually on the bus or on the train, in the customer service booths at each of our rail terminals. They're the people who are physically there, making those vehicles run and offering that assistance. Our maintenance team is also quite large. Again, we have both rail and bus maintenance teams and also facility maintenance. These are the folks that make sure our vehicles are in good repair, that they have the system updates that they need to make sure that they are clean and able to safely move our passengers from point A to point B. Our infrastructure team is made up of our power and way department, construction and engineering. This is the team that kind of builds and maintains the physical structures that the trains run on. So they are the people who are on the tracks, like our track workers, our flaggers, making sure our trains can move from place to place, doing so in a safe manner. They're the ones, again, who are just building and maintaining those structures as well. We also have quite a large law department, lawyers who specialize in employment and labor relations, not only lawyers, but a whole support team that gives the administrative side of assistance to our lawyers as well. A really large technology team. The photo you see in this slide is of a gentleman at our control center. I love this photo because it reminds me of the movies at NASA when you see a space shuttle launch. This is kind of what it reflects to me. We're not launching space shuttles, but we are monitoring our buses and trains and making sure they're running smoothly. We have all these different systems that are keeping track of our routes, any issues, and so we need a strong technology team to be able to administer and handle all of these things. Finally, we have an administration side of the house. So that includes finance, human resources, communications, and safeties. So those administrators who are kind of behind the scenes, making sure our day-to-day operations are also running, making sure people are getting paid and that contracts are getting signed and that we're hiring people, you know. So this all just goes to show that there are a ton of jobs at the CTA. I think immediately when you think of CTA, you think the people who drive the trains and buses, and they are super important, and there are a lot of them, but there are also a lot of opportunities behind the scenes. So with over 11,000 employees, you can imagine there's a lot to do at CTA. All of our positions are going to be, my website's got cut off a little bit, but all of our open positions are going to be listed at transitchicago.com/careers. The little list I have here are the jobs that are currently available. It's kind of a shorter list right now. End of the year, December, there's not a lot that we typically post. A lot of people aren't necessarily, traditionally anyway, looking for jobs this time of year. So in January, this list will grow again, but you can take a look and see what is available. Take a look at any of these positions that you might be interested in. Start reviewing the requirements. You could apply to any of these today. Positions like our bus operator and bus mechanic, ones that are kind of listed at the bottom there, those are positions that we are always hiring for. So if you are interested in a career in bus operations, or if you have experience as a mechanic and you're looking for a bus mechanic opportunity, those are jobs that we are consistently hiring for. So there's a lot of opportunity to be hired into either of those. We also list our upcoming jobs. So jobs that you cannot yet apply to, but that we are anticipating in the future you will be able to. So let's say that there is a coordinator job on our legal team, and they're working on, getting the job description approved. They're working on kind of all the behind the scenes steps. We know that we are going to post that job in the near future for people to apply to, but it's not quite ready yet. So that's what that upcoming jobs page does. It kind of tells you these are the things that you can expect to see in the near future. You just can't apply for them yet. So if you look at that upcoming jobs page and you see something that's interesting to you, that just signals that you can keep an eye on our open jobs page and be one of the first people to apply when it does become available. So applying is very easy at CTA. The first step again is to visit our website, transitchicago.com/careers. The first step you're going to take there is to fill out a profile. This is just super basic profile, your name, your address, basic information, email, things like that. Once you fill out that profile, then you can submit online applications to individual jobs. We recommend always submitting a resume along with an application. For many of our jobs, it's not required, but submitting a resume really helps you stand out. It helps you tell us how and why you meet the requirements of the job. So taking the time to tailor a resume, making sure that it speaks to the job and the skills that are required and the qualifications we're asking for, it's really going to help you stand out from the crowd. So if there's something that you'll take away from this presentation, kind of a tip or a trick to help you, again, just stand out, it's to submit a resume. So highly recommend you do that for all of our jobs. After you apply, there are a couple next steps. Testing could be one of them. Some of our jobs require testing, some do not. If you do need to do some kind of exam, our recruiters will let you know. You will know that through your email. You will know that through your application status page. We will always tell you what your next steps are electronically. So it's going to be really important that you are checking your email or checking your spam. Sometimes emails go to your spam inbox and you might miss it. So keep an eye out on both of those. And then we'll tell you whether you need to do a test. After testing, if it's required, you'll move into a phone and video interview stage. Phone interviews are kind of the preliminary interview, and then based on those, might invite you to do a video interview with our human resources team and a hiring department manager. So during those interviews, we're going to ask you about your experience. We're going to want to know about your work history, your background, what makes you a great candidate and a great fit for this job. If you get through the interview and you've wowed the team, we're super excited about your qualifications, you're the person for this job, you'll be offered the job, and then you'll go into some pre-employment steps. So that will include background checks, medical and drug tests, and employment and education verification. We just need to make sure that the information you've given us on the front end checks out and that it's all true and accurate. And then once you get through all of that, you get to become part of the CTA family. CTA really is a family. I didn't quite believe it at first when I joined, but it's a huge place, but people really care for each other. People are really excited for each other when they do well or when they're promoted. You spend a lot of time with people at CTA, especially if you're in the operations side of the store. Maybe you're working overnight shifts. It's a great time for bonding. So you really do become part of the CTA family. Some of the benefits that we offer include medical benefits for both full and part-time employees. Even for our part-time people, that's a huge benefit. There's not a lot of part-time jobs out there that offer that. We offer free transit on CTA and PACE buses. We make sure our employees get the support and training that they need to be successful in their job. We want you to be as successful as possible. So we offer extended training for several of our positions that make sure you are able to do your job well and in the safest way possible. And then finally, we do offer retirement benefits for our employees as well. So just a little plug, I encourage you all, if you're not yet, to, well, first, create a LinkedIn profile if you haven't done so yet. And then second, make sure you follow the Chicago Transit Authority. This is where we will list all of our upcoming jobs, any webinars that we are hosting. It's where we also like to showcase our company culture and the people who represent the CTA, our employees. So you'll get to learn a little bit about the people behind the scenes at CTA and just get a really good overall view of who we are as a company. So thank you all for listening to me today, and I look forward to chatting with some of you more in the breakout sessions.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Lindsay. If anyone has any questions for Lindsay regarding employment at CTA, please feel free to enter those questions into the chat and we will get those answered for you during the Q&A portion. I do also want to briefly mention that if you would like to meet with Lindsay during the small group interview portion of this event, please private message either Valencia Muhammad or Stacy Delaney Roney with YWCA and they will get a time scheduled for you. Next up, we have PACE Suburban Bus. Josh, are you able to present?
I am. Can everyone hear me okay?
You can, sir.
Great, thank you. First off, my name is Josh Fedewa. I am with PACE Suburban Bus, and I'd like to introduce one of my colleagues, Maggie Lopez. She is here as well.
Hello.
Maggie, there?
Yep, I'm here.
Good. And before we get started, what we'd like to do, I'm going to turn it over to Maggie. Maggie's going to give kind of an overview of PACE and a background on PACE.
So next slide, please. Or could you, yeah, there you go. So just to give you some background information about PACE and who we are as a company, we are a suburban transit provider. We provide transportation to thousands of daily riders. Our riders depend on us to safely transport them to work, school, and other destinations. Our service covers the northeastern Illinois region, which is comprised of 6 counties, and that includes Cook, Will, DuPage, King, Lake, and McHenry. We are also one of the largest bus services in North America. It has been calculated that our service covers a total of 3,677 miles. To put that into better perspective, that's nearly the size of the state of Connecticut and 15 times the size of the city of Chicago. So at PACE, in order to provide service to the 6 county regions, our operations are spread among several locations. In total, we have 12 divisions, and here's a breakdown of where our divisions are located. I'd also like to mention that we do have openings at most of these locations. And so now that you have a general understanding of our background and who we are as a company, I'm going to pass it along to Josh. That way he can talk more about our openings and how to go about applying.
Thanks, Maggie. Yeah, before I get into the opportunities that we have, I just want to mention that PACE is, public transit is considered an essential service. And so I wanted to mention that throughout this pandemic, PACE has been hiring. We have new protocols in place to ensure that employees are following CDC guidelines, and that's to ensure, to keep both our staff and riders safe and healthy. So next slide, I want to talk about current opportunities. So this slide was taken directly from our employment and careers page on our website. It gives a complete listing of our current vacancies, most of which, as you will see, are in our bus operators and maintenance staff. Our career site can be found at www.pacebus.com/careers. It allows you to click on any of the positions to get a better description of the position, as well as your responsibilities, requirements, qualifications. You can also click on the division to get a location of the division. It also, our website allows for individuals to submit an application online as well. Next slide. So some of the things we offer a competitive starting pay. We offer paid training programs, promotional opportunities from within, health insurance, retirement benefits, as well as generous paid time off. So the next steps. So as I mentioned, we encourage you to visit our career page at www.pacebus.com/careers. If there's any of the opportunities that you saw that you're interested in, you can click on that position to get a clear description. You can apply through our online application. Your application will then be reviewed, and if you're considered for the position, one of our recruiters will follow up for the next steps, which could include testing, could include interviewing. It just kind of depends on the position. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maggie and Josh, for your presentation. Again, I just want to reiterate, if you have questions for any of the employers, or more specifically, Pace Suburban Bus, please enter those into the chat and we'll get those addressed during the Q&A portion. One other final point that I would like to make is that if you would like to meet with Pace Suburban Bus during the small group interviews, please use the chat function, private message either Valencia Muhammad or Stacy Delaney Roney with the YWCA, and they will get a time scheduled for you. Next up, we have Tier LaShawn with First Student. Tier, are you available to present?
Good morning.
Good morning. You can begin whenever you're ready, Tier.
Everyone. All right, thank you, sir. Hi, everyone. My name is Tier LaShawn Lee, and I'm representing First Student. I'm actually a role supervisor in safety, and I oversee the recruiting team. So I have Ms. Tabria, who's actually representing today for First Student. And we are a bus company, and we are looking for drivers only right now. And just a little bit about First Student. First Student started back in the UK, and they are trained. So it's like how we have Metro, they deal with training. So in the 2000, they decided to come and become a United Kingdom. So that's when they decided to do buses to transport the wonderful children. So that's when we started here. And we are over 40 different states. So we're huge, okay? Yes, and we're also linked with Greyhound, and we're also with Transit. So First Student is a multi-billion-dollar company. And with that, it's like we're a big, huge family. And the managers, starting with the managers on down, we have some wonderful managers. And it's like support every department, every area you do as a driver, attendant, being a part of managers. It is really, really, really a good company. And we are getting ready for all the wonderful students to get on the bus, and we do have routes that's going so that we do make sure that they have the mask on. They are 6 feet apart from one another. One child skips a seat, and then we're making sure daily the bus is super, super clean and sanitized. We even have stickers to let everyone know this bus has been sanitized daily. So to let you know that we're hiring for drivers, and being a school bus driver is not just school bus driver. We're professional drivers, and that's a big deal because we hold a CDL, right? So CDL is the best. It's number one. It's truck drivers, right? And then we fall with number two with the B because they are A. But because you got that CDL, it's our job to show everyone on the road that we are big but we know how to follow the rules and regulations on the streets and on the road, on the expressway, and that we have to set examples for other drivers. And we have to think about the safety of everyone on the bus and around the bus. So that makes you very important. And we want you to know that this job is a job, but it's a career as well. And you can grow as first student. I mean, you can start out walking in as a driver and become the next manager. Okay? So it's plenty of opportunities, because one thing about first student, they like to hire their people that's already in versus reaching out. So once you get in the door, you can move up. You don't have to be here. Once everything is clear, your background, and you hired, you can put, we always daily put up different positions. You can request that, put in your resume, and you can become working in dispatch. And you just walked in the door. So it's plenty of opportunities. So I'm going to let Ms. Tabria introduce herself and finish talking about the requirements, the benefits, and all that good stuff. And y'all have a safe and Merry Christmas.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Tabria, and I work for first student in the Glenwood location, but the Glenwood location and the South Holland location is combined as one. And also, I'm working in recruiting, where we go out and canvass different cities to look for people that's willing to work part-time jobs, being a school bus driver. The hours, you'll be working Monday through Friday, 4 hours a day, 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening. The pay is $16 an hour up to $21 an hour. You'll have to do for fingerprinting, background, drug and alcohol tests. The benefits we have are medical, vision, and dental, and we also have a 401k plan. Every time you make it up to like a $500, they match that. Also, we have a job fair every Wednesday, and that will be December 16th, December 23rd, and December 30th of this month. You can apply at firstgroupcareers.com. We're located at 16951 State Street, South Holland. You can contact us at 708-210-2200. And you must be at least 21 years of age. And you also have to have your driver's license for 3 years with no breaks in between. You must have your driver's license, social security card, and school bus eligibility receipt when you come in to do an interview. And you can get the school bus eligibility receipt from the TDL DMV that's located in South Holland. The job fair, the interviews will be held Monday through Friday from 8:15 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. And that's about it.
Thank you so much to First Student for your presentation. If anyone has any questions for them, please feel free to enter those into the chat. Additionally, if you'd like to meet with them during the small group interviews, please feel free to private message either Valencia Muhammad or Stacy Delaney Roney, and we'll get a time scheduled for you. Our final employer today is Premier Employee. Janine, are you available to present?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning. You can begin whenever you're ready, Janine.
Sure. So, as you know, my name is Janine Moore. I am the area recruiter for Premier Employee Solutions. The office I work out of is the Crest Hill office. As you can see, it is the address is there, 2400 Canton Farm Road. That's the number where you can reach me at directly. The Crest Hill office also has their own number. I didn't put it there. I forgot. My apologies. It's 815-744-9000. Can you go to the next slide, please? So we are currently hiring. Actually, if I didn't mention, we are a staffing agency. We have offices throughout all of the 50 states. I would say between 7 and 8 offices. Actually, Illinois is the smallest amount of offices that we have. We have an office in Aurora, Bolingbrook, and as I mentioned, the Crest Hill office. Can you go to the next slide, please? So this is one of the facilities is our North Lake facility that we're hiring at. As you can see, the shift is second shift. It's from 2 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. This site is attempt to hire site after 3 months. And what I do is after I process you in the system, I send you because I try to help as much as I can. So I send you the expectations that they're looking for an employee that they would like to hire. The pay is $14.50 an hour. There is no background check, no drug test. Basically what you'll be doing, as it says here, picking fruits and vegetables from crates and filling into boxes for delivery. This is a refrigerated facility. It's about 30 to 40 degrees in there. So you're allowed to wear, a jacket. Some people, everyone's different. So you can wear your winter coat. You can wear gloves. We have other gloves to go over your gloves. And you can wear hat, double socks, double pants, however you feel is best. Some people say, oh, it's not that cold in there. But then some people say, it's freezing in there. As you can see here, this is where you would go to complete an application. It is www.firstclassstaffing.com. Once you're done with the application, you can text me and let me know you finished. I will call you. We will begin to process you and we can get you going the very next day. Okay. The next slide is the Elwood Joliet site. They are looking for lumpers and material handlers. And the best way to sum that up is you'll be unloading trucks, whether it's manually or using an electronic pallet jack. I do have a video that shows you exactly what you'll be doing. The shifts that they're looking to fill is 6 a.m. to 2:30, which is first, and then 3:30 to 10:30, which is second shift. The shifts run Monday through Friday. The pay is $19 an hour. You must be able to pass a background check and a drug test. And then there's the application website. That one is www.thepremierpride.com. Once you complete the application, I will send you some additional paperwork to do, and then we'll begin processing you and getting you over to the Crest Hill office to start your drug test. And then the next site is the Minooka facility. It's in Minooka, Illinois. The shift is first shift, 6 a.m. to 2:30. Second shift from 2 to 10:30. As you notice, I don't have days up there. This site is more flexible. So basically you work when you want. So for instance, if you call us Monday and Tuesday, and you say, put me on the list to work, but then you don't call us Wednesday, we don't hold that against you. You don't call us Thursday, we don't hold that against you. The only time that it becomes an issue is if you call us, say you're going to report to work, don't report to work, and then don't call us and tell us that you can't make it. So this one is more for someone who's looking for a more flexible schedule. The pay is first shift is $13, second shift is $13.50. That is the seasonal pay that they're offering right now. This site has no background check or drug test. Transportation is offered. We pick you up from 79th, 87th, and 127th in the Dan Ryan. So here, basically what you'll be doing is packing and unpacking product or either setting up cardboard floor displays, okay? The application website is the easypayrollstaffing.com that you see right here. Once you complete this application, I will send you some additional pages, and then you complete those additional pages, I'll get you processed, and then you can start this one right away as well. Then we have another Elwood Joliet site. This one's known as the Candy Factory. Many people recognize it by that name, but it is actually XPO Logistics. They are looking for second shift and third shift. As you can see, second shift is from 3 to 11, Monday through Friday, Saturday if needed. Third shift is from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., Sunday through Thursday. The pay for second shift is $15.50. The pay for third shift is $16 an hour. This one is temp to hire after 3 months. You must be able to pass a background check and a drug test. The drug test is done out of our Crest Hill office. And basically what you'll be doing here is either packing and unpacking candy or putting labels on the box. You can see the application website. It is the firstclassstaffing.com. So this is what we're offering right now. If you're interested, please reach out to me. And then welcome to the Pride. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janine, for that presentation. We will now transition into a brief and Q&A portion. I will be pulling questions primarily from the chat, and as they are addressed to each of the employers, if you could all please answer those, that would be fantastic. So the first question that I have is actually for FedEx, I believe, and if you give me one moment here, I'll get to that. Okay, Megan, this individual asks, does FedEx offer 401k?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Hello? Okay, perfect. I was like talking for a second. I realized I forgot to unmute myself.
No worries.
So they offer that to non-package handlers. So when you do grow within the company, then yes.
Awesome. Thank you for that response. The next question that I have here, I believe, is for Sherwin-Williams. This individual asks, how do you apply for an opportunity with Sherwin-Williams? And there was actually two individuals that asked that same question. So Carolina, can you address that?
Yes, so our website is careers.sherwin-williams.com. So you would just log into the website and search for the location, which is Chicago, the Chicago plant, and you should be able to see all the open positions there and apply.
Awesome. Thank you for that response, Carolina. And circling back to Megan with FedEx, there was a question here. This individual stated, I am looking for a truck driving position. I have a CDL Class A. To put that into a concise question, Megan, I would say, would that class of CDL allow them to be able to apply for a truck driving position within your organization?
So for the ground network, we actually don't, the drivers are not actually employed by FedEx. They would be going through a contractor. So to clarify, I would not know 100% on which CDL is preferred, but if you're interested in the driving position for the ground network, the best way to search us up is by going into Indeed and typing in FedEx drivers and the city that you want to work in, because then it'll be linked to the contractor who works in that area for the FedEx location, if that makes sense.
It does. Fantastic. Thank you for that response, Megan. The next question that I have, I believe, is for Lindsay with CTA. This individual asks, is experience needed to be a bus operator?
Yeah, that is a really good question. The answer is no. You can apply today. If you don't have any experience as a bus operator, you can apply. You can go through testing. You can go through interviews. You can go all the way up to the point where we are actually offering you a job. You don't have to have experience. The one thing that you would have to get before you actually start as a bus operator is your commercial learner's permit. So that is the permit that you would get. You go to the DMV and you would get that so that we can actually start to train you to be a bus operator. All of our bus operators go through at least 30 days of paid training, and that's what they start with. If they do need to obtain that CDL, we actually give them the training they need to obtain that as well. So it's a really good question when we get quite a bit. And the answer is no. We will train you to get the certification you need to actually get behind the wheel of the bus.
Fantastic. Thank you for that response, Lindsay. And before I ask the next question here, I just do want to reiterate, if you have any questions for any of the employers who presented here today, please feel free to enter those into the chat and we'll get those answered for you. Pivoting back to the questions, Lindsay, this one is for you once more. This individual asks, this is for CTA, what is the position for rail agents and are there any administrative positions available?
Yeah, so it's kind of two questions then. I think the role that you're referring to for the rail agents is customer service assistant, CSA. So that is a job that we will recruit for a couple times during the year as well. I don't believe that one is currently available, but that is one where if you log into our website, transitchicago.com/careers, you could actually fill out a profile and indicate that you're interested in that job, in that rail side of the and customer service side of the CTA. And then when that job becomes available, we would send you an email and let you know, hey, customer service assistant is now open and available to apply for. So check that out. You can go and apply. And then as far as the other administrative options that are available, your best bet is to go on the website. We do update our website every Friday with new jobs that are available, if new jobs are available. So that is the best place to go. That again, transitchicago.com/careers, you'll see the full list of things that are open. And again, going onto our upcoming jobs page, that's another kind of step to see what's coming up in the future. So there might be some administrative roles listed there that we know are coming down the pipeline, but are just not quite there yet. And so that's a way for you to just keep an eye out and see when that does come up and then apply.
Fantastic. Thank you for that thorough response, Lindsay. I did want to mention, if anyone has any questions, again, please feel free to enter those into the chat and we'll get those answered for you. I did also want to make a brief note that if you'd like to meet with any of the employers who presented here today, please use the chat feature in Zoom, private message either Valencia Muhammad or Stacy Delaney Roney with the YWCA, and they will get a time scheduled for you. At this point, I don't see that we have any other participant questions, so I think this might be a good time to segue into our next portion, and my colleague David Garvey will be handling that. And David, are you ready to present?
Yes, apologies for that. I was on mute. Good morning, everyone. My name is David Garvey with SIU Center for Workforce Development, and I work with Illinois WorkNet. I wanted to let you know that today's session is being recorded and will be made available on the employer booth pages in our virtual job fair area for each of the employers who presented today, and the links to those employer booth pages have been shared in the chat. I also want to provide a brief overview of the Get Hired website, which is up on the screen here. And this site can be reached by entering illinois.gov/gethired. And Get Hired is a web portal that's been designed to connect workers with available job and career training opportunities across the state. And so to go over a few of these resources here, if you click this Job Seekers Click Here button, this will take you to Illinois Job Link. And this is a website where you can see other job postings in Illinois. The virtual job fairs here button takes you to the Illinois WorkNet virtual job fair landing page. And this is where you can search for employers who are hiring and see the number of positions that are open and learn more about their organizations. You can search by keyword, industry, and location as well. And if you click this VJF events button, you can get a calendar view of upcoming events that we are in the process of scheduling for other virtual job fairs as well. And then finally, this online training opportunities button, that'll take you to this training quick start guide that we have on Illinois WorkNet. And this page covers some of the different training options and resources that are available to you from community colleges to WIOA approved training programs, other public and private programs, and apprenticeship opportunities. And then back on the Get Hired website, we have a few more buttons down here with some additional resources, including how to apply for unemployment insurance and accessing additional resources through this page. And I would like to point out that all the resources that have been mentioned are free to use for job seekers and will be accessible through this Get Hired Illinois page well beyond today's event. And so at this time, we're going to begin the breakout room portion of this morning's job fair. Daniel, if you could go back to that one slide that you had open, or the next slide, I believe. Excellent, thank you. So like, that we've